Welcome to another episode of The Route. I'm your host, Landon Danes. On this episode, we're going to talk about gaining momentum and traction in your pest control company and a lot of the pitfalls and mistakes tons of pest control owners make on the road to growth in their company. Whether you're just starting out, whether you're 10 or 20 years in business and you're wanting to gain more traction in your market, we're going to go over all the reasons why it might not be happening and how to fix that along the way. So I grew my company to a 7-figure exit in 3 years, and now I help other owners do the same thing through our Pest Launch group. And on this episode, we're going to dive into some things we talk about in that group together. So starting out, one of the biggest mistakes owners make at any stage of business is they want insane growth immediately. And the reason that's a mistake is because the thing that's going to get you to insane growth isn't the thing that you're thinking of right now. So I have lots of guys who ask me or who are looking on the internet right now for, hey, how can I get 50 new calls coming in this month? Nothing else. I don't want anything else to change in my business. I just want 50 more calls. The thing is, the reason you're not getting 50 more calls in your business is the exact same reason you will get it if you change those things. So you're avoiding and stepping right over the thing that's going to get you the result by looking for the result. So tons of owners want the growth without doing the things that's going to get them the growth. And I'll break that down for you. So if you've been in business 20 plus years, I was just talking to an owner earlier this week. He'd been in business, it was 30 plus years actually. And he said he was happy with where he's at, doing about $2 million per year, but he wanted more calls coming in. I want more calls. He said he was getting about 20 to 30, closing about 50% of those, but I want more calls. And so after really auditing his business for 10 or 20 minutes and walking him through some of the things that we could do and we would do, I showed him that the reason you're not getting those calls is a lot of the back end things. So number one, you need to build out your brand more in the community. Not enough people know who you are. Number two, you need more reviews. So when people search, they see who you are. That's going to get you free calls coming in. Number three, you need your technicians to have a more systematized way of doing the service. So everything's super structured. So that frees up your time. Your routes are tighter. Now you have more time to market. And now you're making more per customer and per route. So you have more money to reinvest into marketing. And we went through 5 or 10 different things of, hey, here's how you can get those calls. But he mistakenly just said, no, I don't want any of those things. I just want more calls. And so we ended our conversation right there. But I want to walk through exactly what this looks like and what it means. I call it the flywheel of pest control. And a flywheel is something where each input in each part of the wheel, as it spins faster, spins the rest of the wheel faster. So that's the whole concept we're going to go over. And if you're just starting out again, or if you've been in business for a long time, think of this in your business. Think of how you can apply this, because growth will happen way more strategically by default and long-term if you do these things. So the number one part of the flywheel is just getting a new customer. So whether that's door to door, whether that's through Facebook, whether that's through targeting a new move-in neighborhood, just getting a new customer is the number one step. And sometimes that sounds like a big step for owners, but most owners have gotten a new customer this month. So if you've already gotten a new customer, you're already in step one of the flywheel. There's obviously more ideas of how you can get more and do it faster. But when I started my business, just for a quick story, I started in 2021 and I had 0 customers. And it was really easy to just think of like, hey, what's going to get me 50 new customers this month or this week? Or who can I pay? What marketing company can I pay that's going to flood my phone with leads? I want my phone ringing every single minute. Like that's where most owners' mind goes to. But again, there's 2 mistakes there. There's one, that's not sustainable, and 2, that's not going to happen because you don't have things built out. So number one, I just went out and knocked doors. And I knew that if I can get some customers coming in the door, that's step one, and that's going to lead to the rest of this flywheel. So whatever your strategy is right now, double down on that strategy. Spend more time doing that thing, whether it's door to door, whether you have organic and word of mouth, whether you're doing a referral program, double down on that. Whether you're doing social media stuff, whether you're doing ads, whatever it is, double down on that thing and find out how can I do it better? How can I do it faster? How can I improve my close rate? How can I improve my response time? How can I improve the contract value that I'm selling each of these customers for through this customer acquisition line? So find out how you can do the current area better before you even think about adding anything new. So now that you have customers coming in the door, even if it's just 1 or 2 per month, double down on that, and you can even double that to two to 4. So you have customers coming in. Step 2 is super, super important that a lot of companies, especially the big box companies, clearly forget. It's doing an amazing service every single time. So it's really easy as a solo operator to go do an amazing service. Cool. You know how to go do it, talk to the customer, explain everything, present yourself well, show up on time, do a thorough service, leave a report afterwards. You know how to do that. But a lot of owners don't know how to replicate that. They don't know how to systematize that and put in a structure of this will be done the same exact way by technician A that replaces me next week or next month or whenever I hire someone. So that's step 1. Before you even think about getting more customers in a new way, how can I replicate myself so that when I step off the truck, my service is just as good, if not even better. And that's what happened for me is when I hired my first technician, I made sure that the service actually got better by me stepping away. I found someone who was better at blue collar work, who knew how to manage, equipment and chemicals and those kind of things, and was very detailed with his work. So it's about finding the right person, but also putting the right systems in place. So we required 2 pictures before and 2 pictures after. We found later on that was a little bit overkill, so I changed it to 1 before, 1 after. But a before and after picture, which is obviously great for the customer, but also great for us as a company, because then we have quality control on every single job that gets done. So we had pictures, we had a certain amount of time that the technician was required to be at the house. So I knew that if someone's at the house for at least 30 to 40 minutes, almost by default, it's going to be a great service. Because in pest control, the time you spend at a house is very closely related to the quality of the service, because customers can't see physically things that are done after you leave. They don't see a paint job, they don't see hinges on a door that are fixed. I don't see, their sink that's now completely different and the drain's working now like a plumber. Like, they don't see those things. And so how long you're there is closely associated with how much work you do and how high quality the service is. So putting in a few things that by default will lead to a great service, and finding great people will lead to that service being replicated time and time again. So once you get new customers, that first service is crucial. And even before you go for that service, and it all ties together, but making sure that the reminder sequence beforehand, whether it's 2 days before, 1 day before, the texts that go out, you want to prime yourself so that you text the customer, hey, we'll be there tomorrow at 2 p.m., and you show up at 2 p.m. And if you do those little things, it seems like nothing, but you're showing the customer that we fulfill our word. So I told you I was going to be here at 2, I show up at 2. So now they know whatever you do, you're starting to build that confidence that whatever I say, I'm going to do. And that builds a customer relationship that lasts a long time. Make sure that once you get those customers, then you go deliver an amazing service. That's step 2 of the flywheel. Step 3 is getting reviews. Reviews should be baked into every service you do, because every customer you deal with, every service you go do, it's a chance for Google and the whole world or the whole service area you service to know about you and your company. So make sure that as part of the post-service checklist for your technicians, it's either telling the customer to leave a review, having a business card with a QR code, or having some automation that goes out to leave a review. Because even if I do just 50 services this month and I'm just starting out and I only do 50, if I can get all 50 of those people to leave a review, my company looks amazing on Google and I'm climbing up the rankings to get more calls coming in. And again, that only happens if I do step 2, which is doing an amazing service. And that only happens if step 1, I get a customer. So all these things are going to build upon itself, but getting reviews coming in, the best way to get reviews is informing the customer beforehand, asking for the review afterwards, and getting them to leave a review. It's best if they have, obviously, text in the review, not just the 5 stars, and also pictures and names of the people that were involved, and specific bugs, maybe the city they're in. Like, the more specific the review, the better it's going to rank and boost you. So we did an amazing service. Now that customer leaves a review, now that we've seen that customer give buy-in to our service and our company, 2 things happen. 1, now they're basically putting their money where their mouth is of voting for us as a company. That, like, they're bought into us and they're going to stay a lot longer. But 2, now that they have done that, they're more likely to give you a referral. So now as a company, I'm thinking, okay, you just said we're a 5-star company. Let's go see who you're willing to refer to us because you just said that. So step 4 is how can we get you to duplicate yourself as a customer with a referral? So putting in an amazing referral program so that every customer you get multiplies into 2 or 3. And you see how this can quickly happen. If I get just 1 customer through door to door, I go to an amazing service. They leave me a review on Google, and we'll set their review aside for now, but they leave me a review. Now I ask them for a referral, and they give me 2 people. If I go do that exact same thing with those 2 people again, so now I have 2 people, and I go do an amazing service, and I ask for a review, they both leave me a review. Now I ask for a referral, and both those people now multiply into 2 more. So you see how this can continue happening over and over and over again very, very quickly just by doing these simple steps. And that's not even calculating the reviews going on Google that now I'm going to get organic calls from. So we'll rewind a little bit. So we've got reviews coming in and referrals coming in now. Now we're ranking higher on Google. So without spending any money on Google, on ads, on social media or anything, we're ranking higher. So when people search for pest control in our area, we're going to be climbing toward the top. And so they see reviews. And what's really important is that these reviews are active. It's not like the last review is 3 months ago. It's Sandy Jones left a review 10 minutes ago. And so they see that this is a legit business that's happening, that's in service right now. And so they'll take care of me if I call right now. But now I'm climbing the ranking on Google. Now I'm getting more organic calls. And what's going to happen here? the same flywheel effect is going to happen if these things are in place. So maybe month one, I only get one organic call. Just randomly, someone found me on Google and they called me. 3 months down the road, if I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again, now I have 75 reviews on Google. And now I went from one call from Google to 15 calls from Google. You see how it just continues to multiply month over month over month. So now I have 15 calls come in, and let's say I close 10 of them. Sweet, I got 10 new customers from Google. Start the whole process over again. So I go out, do an incredible service. The reminders go out, technician goes out, does an incredible job. I get 10 more reviews, one from each of these people. Let's say half of them give me a referral. I get 5 more customers. So essentially, I got 20 new customers from Google. 15, because 15 calls came in, I closed 10, but 10 of those 10, 5 gave me a referral, so now I'm at 15. So you're getting free leads, free calls, free customers by duplicating this whole process. And so again, now these people I got referrals from, now boom, they're going to step 1, and I'm doing the service again. Now I'm getting a review, and I'm getting referrals. So this whole thing just continues over and over and over again. And one of the biggest mistakes pest control owners make is they just want it all to happen at once. They see companies that are doing this, that are getting the calls, but they don't see the back end things. They say, oh, I know a company that gets 50 new customers every month from Google. That's what I want. If you can solve that one thing, I'm happy. What they don't understand is it takes a lot of time to get there. And any solution that's going to get you 50 calls from Google this month without anything else isn't sustainable. And if it does happen, if you do bring in 50 new calls, it's not going to happen again because you don't have that system in place. And so you're going to be constantly relying on spending more and more and more online to keep up with the growth that you want. And you won't be profitable, and you're going to go under. You're going to be constantly treading water just to make it to the next month, and you can never grow sustainably, organically, and profitably because you're constantly spending more to get there. On the flip side, if you say, okay, I see companies wanting or doing 50 calls, 50 new customers per month on Google, I want to get there. Let's build out a 6-month plan to get there, or even an 18-month plan. People don't realize that growth and success, especially with business, always takes 2 to 3 times longer than you think it's going to. So if you think something's going to take 3 months, plan on 9 months and say, okay, here's my 9-month plan to get 50 new calls from Google in a month. Month 1, I'm just focusing on my service. How can I build out my service plan so it's incredible so that once I get any new customer in, they're thrilled and they stay with me longer? Number 2, how am I going to get new customers? I'm going to focus on one strategy. I'm going to go knock doors, or I'm going to do this, and I'll do that for now. Okay, step 3. Month 3, I'm going to focus on dialing in my review process and getting 100% of my customers to leave a review. And you see how month over month over month, you're dialing this process so that by month 9, you have this incredible system and structure in place that naturally will get you calls coming in. And it looks natural to people who see you in month 9, but they don't see the first 8 months that get you there. So in your company, think about what part of this flywheel am I not doing? And it's probably more than one. And if I double down on 1 or 2 of these areas, you see how it can quickly get you the results you want and the growth you want. But it's probably not the thing you thought of when you think of growth right now. So start off with your customer acquisition strategy right now. Double down on that. Next, focus on your service and dialing that in so it's absolutely premium. There's nothing that could be better. It gets customers incredible results, and they're happy to pay what they pay and even more. Then get reviews coming in. Then get referrals coming in. Make sure you keep your Google page update to date as those reviews come in. Now you're going to start getting more organic calls come in. So then at that point, once you're at that point of the process, it's time to really focus on your sales process. Because if you're getting all these calls coming in, you have that whole system dialed in, but if you're only closing 10%, 20% of leads, then there's the bottleneck of your business. So focus on sales scripts, focus on role plays, focus on overcoming objections, focus on pricing strategies that get people to buy now, focus on discounts, focus on bundles, focus on how can I improve this sales process for me or my sales rep so that we close 2 times what we're closing right now. Because if you do that, again, you don't need to spend anything more. But if you do that, you're going to get 2 times as many people coming through this entire flywheel effect. That's going to double your business now. But then once that double happens, it leads to triple, quadruple, times 5, times 10. And it continues to just speed up the process so fast. And then once more sales are coming in, leads to more reviews, and it happens over and over and over again. So the thing that you want to happen in your business is growth. Everyone wants growth. Everyone wants more calls. But you're not going to get that without focusing on the back end things, your service, your customer acquisition strategy, your sales process, your reviews, your referrals. I've talked to a lot of owners who have been in business for dozens of years, and they have 1,000 plus customers, but they have less than 50 reviews on Google. And I tell them, I say, your Google page, if I Google you right now, your Google page in no way represents how big or how good of a company you are. That's a major problem. If I Google pest control in my area and I see you have 20 reviews, I have no idea that you've been in business for 40 years and that you do an incredible job and that you have thousands of happy customers. Your page needs to reflect that, so you'll get more calls coming in. And so there's always just missing links of this process that are stopping guys from growing. So use this flywheel to grow your business, and just understand that growth is a lot longer and a lot bigger of a process than you think it is right now. And the companies that are doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x what you're doing have built out systems and processes and perfected it over months and months and years. So the best thing you can do for your business is don't look for the thing that right now is going to 10x my business. Look for the thing that if I perfect this, and if I continue building this month over month over month, 12 years from now, 12 months from now, and also years, but 12 months from now, my business is going to be 3x, 4x. And then another 24 months from now, it's going to be another 2x, 3x. Those are the things you want to focus on, not the things that'll get you 4x leads tomorrow. Because again, if you get 4x leads tomorrow, it's not going to be sustainable. You're going to go out and do those. You might sell half of them, and then you're going to do those 20 services, and your service isn't great. Your technicians are not trained up yet. You don't have a review system in place, and so half those people cancel. The other half are somewhat happy but don't leave reviews, and so your Google page just stays the same, and no one knows how good of a company you really are, and then those other customers cancel. You see how it can just lead to more and more problems. So this is the Pest Control Flywheel. Hopefully you understand that the process continues to build faster and faster and faster upon itself as you nail down each part of the process. Don't focus on the end result. Focus on each step of the way of the customer journey, of getting the customer, doing their service, locking them in, getting their buy-in with obviously payment, but also reviews and referrals. The more reviews and referrals and just verbal communication and buy-in that you get from a customer, the longer they're going to stay. It's simple as that. So if I can get that from them up front, even if I don't quite get a referral, but I get a review, now that customer basically guaranteed me an extra 6 or 12 months of their lifetime with me because they put their name on Google with words and pictures and backing my company. And so maybe I don't get a referral right now, but maybe it's 6 months from now that they have 2 friends that move in the area and they come to me right away because they know this whole process and they're bought in. So it takes a lot longer than you think it is. Implement this flywheel, figure out what part of your process you need to dial in. And if you're a bigger company, delegate that to different people in your company to say, hey, we need to figure this process out. We need to dial in this process, and we need the entire customer journey to not be a one-time thing, but it continues to multiply. That's one of the biggest problems that owners face, and they realize later on, is you can't just get one customer in and get nothing out of it. The easiest way to think about it is it's the same reason why you don't do one-time services for every customer you sign up. Pest control owners know that very easily, that if I just do one-time services for everyone, I cannot grow my business. That's why you want way more recurring jobs. And so if you can view this as one of your customers can lead to 3x the recurring, not just one-time recurring, that's how you should see the flywheel. Is the same reason why I don't just sign up people for, hey, I'll come out today and I'll come out next year and we'll just continue to one time every year. So every time a customer comes in, they can multiply themselves 3x with reviews, referrals, and more calls coming in based on the back-end service and systems you have in place. Hopefully this is helpful. If you own a pest control company, focus on this right now. These are the things that 3, 4, 5x a business. It's not the little things like what chemical should I buy tomorrow, or how do I restock this, or how do I fix my spray gun, or how do I change this? Like those are the kind of things you need to delegate or put on the back burner. These flywheel things are the most important thing in your business because it's how you're going to 3, 4, 5x the next 2 years rather than just continue to stay plateaued and stagnant and breaking even. So focus on this. If you are a technician at a company, share this with your owner. If you have any friends in the industry, share this with them. Hopefully it's helpful, and we'll see you on the next episode.